Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're going to be reviewing some barrel products tonight. First up is batch 26. Now I know we're on like batch 32 now is where they are, I believe. But I have batch 26, so I'm going to give you the tasting notes on that. It should and will be completely different than batch 32, so keep that in mind. Look at the gorgeous barrel bourbon bottles. All of their batch bourbons come in these bottles. It's fun. Pretty simple few facts on the front here. It says barrel bourbon, so you know it's from them. Cask strength. So I believe all of their stuff is at cask strength. It's kind of their claim to fame. They are a non-distilling producer, and they're kind of, in that art of blending. So this says batch 26, like I said, to give you the batch number there. A blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. Bottle number 10,653. Out of what? No idea, but this is bottle 10,653. No idea out of what. Age, 9 years. Now we know that they have to put the youngest whiskey on here, so in this case it was 9 years. Proof, 112.64. Compute, 56.32% alcohol by volume. Had to compute a little bit longer on that one tonight. That was a tough one. Now, that's all the information you get on the front of this. And on the back, we find out maybe where the whiskey's from. Distilled in Tennessee, most likely George Dickel, Indiana, MGP, and Kentucky. Don't know, but probably Barton. They're kind of one of the big ones in Kentucky that put a lot of barrels out to non-distilling producers. Now, there's a little fun fact on here. We hand-selected and married these bourbon barrels from our inventory to bring out their best characteristics. Bottled at cask strength so you can experience the true flavor of our blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. Lift your spirits. Joe Beatrice, the founder here of Barrel Bourbon. So like I said, each one of these batches is different. They'll have different ages, probably different batch sizes, and they might have different makeups of where the bourbon's from, and they should kind of tell you that in the back. They do tell you more on the website. So we are going to, for the first time ever on this channel, read a little paragraph from their online website here. It says, Barrel Bourbon Batch 26 was created by combining 9, 10, 11, 13, and 15-year-old barrels. It did receive a 92 points from something here. 92 points from the Ultimate Spirits Challenge of 2021. And it did win double gold at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition in 2021 as well. So there you go. That's a few fun facts today from their website. So you got more information than what's available on the bottle. Alright, let's get into it here. It's the first glass here. Color-wise, it's not too shabby. Let's fire at the nostrils. It smells good, I'll say that. I smell the rye spice on the nose. It smells peppery and very rye forward. I get some caramel in there. Just kind of like a spicy caramel and rye. That's what I get on the nose. Oh, now there's a few like stone fruits coming through. Peaches maybe I get on there. Alright, let's take a sip. Wow, it's pretty good. Get an initial burst of that rye spice. Like some of those peaches and apricots come through in the middle. And then a little bit of oak at the end. And then the finish is okay, but not as long as I would like. Mouthfeel wise, it's kind of medium. It's not real oily, but it's certainly not watery. I think the proof point's pretty nice at 112. It's not going to hurt you, but I think the spiciness of the rye makes it feel just a little bit hotter than the 112 proof point. The faintest hint of Dickel It's really nearly blended out, but there's a little bit of that orange peel note there towards the end that is reminiscent of the Dickel Flintstone vitamin note. So let's talk price on this bad boy. I believe these were 80 or 90 bucks at a Total Wine sometime in 2021 whenever I got this bottle. As you can see, I enjoyed it. Certainly didn't hate it. Friends enjoyed it. I think for the price, we would give it like a B. It's pretty good. I think it would be a lot better if this was around 70 bucks or like 65. I think that would be a screaming bargain and where it would really play amazing in that price point. I think at $80 to $90, there's some other good stuff out there, and I'm not quite sure it holds up to that price point, but we're going to give it a B tonight. A pretty good bottle. If you find it on the shelf, it's the only one I've ever had, but besides my review, others have liked batch 26 a good bit. Alright, on to the other one. There it is. Barrel Dovetail. So this takes, a 180. I believe they've had several iterations of the Dovetail name, but this is the 2021 release. It says whiskey, not bourbon. It says whiskey. Finished in rum, port, and Dunn Vineyards Cabernet barrels. So we got a triple finish on this. 2,388. That's the bottle number on here. Again, no idea how many they actually released, but this is bottle 2,388. Proof on this bad boy, 124.7. So a little bit hotter. Compute, 62.35% alcohol by volume. That's all you get in the front. Now on the back, we get distilled in Indiana, so MGP, and Tennessee. Probably Dickel. Alright, so it says Dovetail is a marriage of spirits meticulously sourced, finished, and blended. Their origins, past, and flavors differ greatly, but they come together in this harmonious and progressive blend. It's bottled at cask strength so you can experience the true flavor. And then again, lift your spirits. Joe Beatrice. So, it does say limited release down here, but I mean, these are easier to get than I think the batches, because I've seen this, every store that carries barrel, I've seen a bottle of this on the shelf. But, if you're looking for a certain batch, you don't always find them on the shelf. I'd say this one's a little more red in color, a little bit darker. So I got it poured up here. Just, I would say a tad darker in the glass, almost like a slight reddish hue to it. Let's give our nostrils a chance here to scent it. Wow, I'm smelling like rum, port, some red fruits, faint hint of nail polish remover. That's what I get on the nose here. It's certainly interesting, but I believe this one's going to be a lot more polarizing than their traditional bourbon releases. This smells like a heavily finished whiskey, so it's not going to be it's not at all similar to, let's say, Widow Jane Decadence, which was finished in maple syrup barrels, where that was bourbon with like a hint of extra sweetness to it. This is heavily influenced by the Cabernet barrels, the rum, and the port. So you can smell it on the nose right away. Let's give it a sip. Wow, that's good. Definitely very port. I get a lot of the port flavors. I get some wine flavors in there. Good bit of heat at the 124 proof point. A lot of red fruits. Some caramel at the end. This almost tastes like a barrel-aged Manhattan. A little bit. It's kind of what I would allude it to on the flavor. I would say the flavor of this, though, is less bourbon and mostly what it's finished in. I will say, if you don't like those heavy finish influences, it won't be for you. Please trust me, it's less bourbon flavored and more, it's like 80% the flavors of those finishing barrels and like 20% bourbon. Very heavily influenced. For me, I've had this just about as long as the barrel batch 26. Didn't drink as much of it. I think because I have to be in the mood for it. It's good. I do like it. But it's kind of one of those things where if I'm lazy and don't want to make a cocktail, I'll pour this because it's like drinking a cocktail. But if I want bourbon, I tend not to reach for it. So let me know your thoughts, whether you love it, hate it. If you've had batch 26, also love to know your thoughts. Or if you have a newer batch, I love to hear if you think it's worth the price. This one, again, I believe is in that $80 to $90 range, so it's about the same price. Is it worth that? Again, we're going to give it a grade of a B tonight because I think it is a little bit overpriced. It's like a barrel-aged cocktail. It should be in the $65 to $70 range, but it is pretty good. So, taste-wise, they did a great job blending, and it does receive a score of B tonight from me. So if you like what you saw tonight, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Have a great evening, everybody.